Our next speaker is Steve Smith.
Chairman Dixon, I thank you for the chance to come and speak to you this morning concerning Senate Bill 5EX and changing our board elections in Gwinnett County to a nonpartisan race. I've lived in Gwinnett County since 1987. I graduated from Brookwood High School in Snellville, and as an adult, I chose to stay in Gwinnett to raise my family. I have a 9-year-old son who attends GCPS. He loves his school, his teachers, and his principal, and as his parents, we currently agree. At first glance, no one would mistake me for a PTA parent or someone highly involved in school board meetings, and until COVID happened, I wasn't. New ways of learning were quickly adapted when our school shut down, and we were promised it was only temporary. That's when I became more involved, attending meetings and rallies to get schools reopened. In that process, I was witness to the 2020 election of 2 new board members and the frankly vile campaigning that was done by them and the Gwinnett Democratic Party. I've been deeply interested in politics ever since I was a child. Ronald Reagan was a hero of mine. I did a book report in the 3rd grade. I'm well versed in how this system operates. Our nation is well entrenched into a 2-party system, and sometimes that works. However, since 2009, it seems like there is no bipartisanship in government anymore, or in its citizens. When people once reached across the aisle to get things done in the sense of compromise, now that hand is swatted away or worse, spat on, because we've deformed a highly divided partisan nation. Even worse, one party seems to have taken the opportunity to label the other side as racist and bigots if they disagree with them strictly in the interest of garnering votes. While that alone should be rebuked, it's especially heinous when it comes to certain offices. There's no place for partisan politics in judicial elections. We don't allow it. And there should also be no place in school board elections either. School boards are put in place to enact policy and procedure in the best interest of our country's most fragile and valuable resource, our children. Their function should be one of unity and positive outcomes for those kids. Instead, they become a home of political theater and indoctrination by partisan hacks who are beholden to the party that they chose to run for. Look no further than one of our GCPS board meetings where a member of a highly democratic organization gave a speech and voiced their frustration with Chairman Blair by screaming, "Do what we elected you to do." The simple fact is this: party platforms have nothing to do with minors who can't vote. They frankly have nothing to do with most adults who can vote either. I'm best described, frankly, as a fiscal conservative and a social moderate. I wish our state would decriminalize marijuana use and take that tax revenue for an education stream. I vote for candidate viewpoints. In a partisan election, candidates must toe their party line or else their support and funding gets pulled. This leads to extreme and radical viewpoints from both sides to get a nomination. When it comes to kids, I want the most qualified candidate, not the best Democrat or Republican. Notice the only people who seem to have issue with this are the members of the political machine who realize it takes away their power and returns it to the voters. A nonpartisan election requires voters to actually learn about their candidates, not just vote straight ticket. It will allow candidates to work for the people and not the party. Last I checked, that's what representative democracy is supposed to be about. Senate Bill 5EX should provide that real legislation and representation. I urge you to pass this bill for our kids' sakes as well as Gwinnett County taxpayers' sakes. Chairman, I thank you for proposing it, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for your comments. Is there any questions? Thank you so much for coming and speaking today.